Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Lore and More here on the Just Shelve It channel. I'm your host, Jesse Arnold, and today we're going to continue with the All-Star 6 Mythic Legions wave. We are now into the reissue figures, which I'm pretty excited for because I did not have any of these figures from this wave, so this was exciting. Also, as much as I love the new parts, I still love the old parts from the old figures, so it's a lot of fun to be able to like pop and swap, and especially with some other stuff we'll get to in the other figures coming up, but I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. Today we're going to be continuing or looking at Bothar Shadowhorn, is the dwarf from All-Star 6 as part of the reissues. So yeah, let's dive right into Bothar here. All right, as you can see, here's all the waves so far. Done the whole top row, did Thrasis last time, and Bothar today. We've got 3 more figures, and then the accessories. I'll probably just show off some like pop and swaps or something at the end of the Sir Ignatius video or something. They won't get their whole dedicated video probably. But today, as we look at Bothar Shadowhorn, our first living dwarf on this particular wave. Toy details, he was released in part of Mythic Legions originally 1.0 and now the All-Star 6 wave. His accessories include a battle axe, a longsword, and a dagger, and he does not come with any additional heads. His character and his character details are faction. He belongs to the Legion of Erethyr. His race is dwarf, and his role is fighter. So for those of you rolling up your character sheets, basing it off of Bothar, fighter is what would you look for. Bothar being part of the faction of Erethyr, or excuse me, the what did I just say? The Legion of Erethyr, good grief, is an Erethyr, or the Legion of Erethyr is based in Erathorn over here. So we've got, there's the continent of Mythos, and there's that big kind of separate island right off the north, kind of central coast, central west coast, that is where Aetherhold is, Hollow, Ironhold, the Greyvein Mountains, and then Mercurius is on a little island just between it and the mainland. So yeah, that is where Bothar hails from as far as being part of the Legion of Erethyr, and then we'll take a look at his bio here in a moment. I think it's really cool that there's an island off the coast that's called the Isla del Avar, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, that gets a name, which I don't have all the lore memorized, but that is to me, that's not ringing any bells as to any characters being named specifically from there. So I'm intrigued to see where that comes from, or maybe that was where, was that where the convocation, or the shadow. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself and off the track. Bothar Shadowhorn biography reads thusly: a distant cousin of Thord Ironjaw, Bothar Shadowhorn has little in common with his heroic kin. The Shadowhorn clan, once proudly aligned with the army of Leodicius, were long ago swayed by Erethyr's promises of riches and power. Bothar's insatiable thirst for blood is eclipsed only by his hatred of Thord, whose Ironjaw clan serves as a grim reminder of what his people once were and what they have now become. That's a pretty dark story. And just so you can get a picture here, here is his distant cousin Thord, who is part of the army of Leodicius, and which Bothar and the Shadowhorn clan used to be associated with. I'm sure I know there's some bits in lore that kind of tease at the separation of the dwarves, but we're not diving into that today. But for now, we've got Bothar and Thord, cousins on opposite or opposing factions. And frankly, I don't have Thord myself, but I love this Bothar figure. And I love that the story has... So the Shadowhorn clan, aligning with the Legion of Erethyr is interesting because Bothar's act. I mean, it says he's insatiable thirst for blood is only eclipsed by a hatred of Thord, because the Thord is a reminder of what their people once were. So it's kind of like, that thorn in his side of what the good of his people used to be. So it sounds like a little bit of self-hatred, if you ask me. And yeah, that's it. There's not a whole lot to dive into on Thord, or excuse me, Bothar. He is a really fun figure. He is the classic dwarf build. Let me pull this down. He is the classic dwarf build, with that 1.0 body, the dwarf thighs and shins, the dwarf forearms. I do love that he comes with the axe and the sword and dagger, because you don't see a lot of portrayals. Dwarves either have hammers or axes and pixes, and he does come with a picks and like mining equipment, or like all heavy base. But I love that he comes with this long sword. I just think that's a really cool look to have, this more stout dwarf wielding what would be, like this classic. So that's how I've got him posed up on my shelf over there with King Bromden and some of the other dwarves in Erethyr clan, or Legion of Erethyr rather. Man, I am just all over the place. But one of the cool things, I don't know if it's not showing up on here, is if you pop his head off, I mean, you've got the bronze detailing over that like gunmetal helmet. Let's see if it'll focus on that instead of my face. There we go. So you got that tracking across there, and then you get a lot of that on the figure as well. So you've got it in the lines on the torso, and the waist piece, and a lot of the armor bits. I just like that little pop of color. Just makes him such a unique character, in my opinion. And that he's got the more heroic style armor goods is just fun. I just think he's really fun. I like him a lot. I did get a second one of him to use for custom, so I don't know if it'll be another Shadowhorn member, or if it'll be a complete repaint. But he does also come with that axe that does have the second side where you can pop off that little spike there and put the double bladed on there. But because so many of the dwarves have axes, I think his and the second one, I might actually give these to the cavern dwarves, because it matches their color scheme, but it's got the extra painted detail on there just to flavor them up a little bit. But yeah, that is it. That is it for Bothar. He's, like I said, he's a really fun character. I love those the horn attachments on there. I don't have a ton of figures with those, but it's really cool. And I guess it sounds like it might be the last wave of the traditional all-stars that we're getting. So, with this past week, they announced the Otho and Urzak version 2s that went on sale today and will be on pre-order at the end of this week for future orders. But they sold out of their stock and everything of the stuff that was available and shipping out. So I'm excited to see what characters from the past they resurrect and do version 2s of, with that that Legacies line, because there's still quite a few figures that feel important to me, or that feel important that I don't have, that I would definitely like to get. So I'm not sure why my camera's not refocusing here, but there it is. Bothar Shadowhorn, first all-star figure of a All-Star 6 wave, will be coming back with Calavian next. then Gorthok and Sir Ignatius and the accessories packs that came with this wave. And then we'll be on to some new stuff. And stay tuned for more lore and more, because there's always more lore. I hit the wrong button. Let's try it again.